So again, everyone's here. Myself, Stephen, Dan, Kevin, and Ray, and we're here for our meeting. We're going to be considering going through the minutes that Michelle had put together for us. We talked about accountability in section 3, about who will be accountable to various things. And let me just read that. Michelle will be accountable for meeting minutes moving forward and provide a summary of meetings for attendees. Buyer certification, and then we talked about the Mike Maloney. What you, Kevin, talked about the buyer certification. Dan, you were talking about the Mike Maloney videos. You did send those group of videos. We also talked about a divide and conquer strategy that we would utilize with individual skill sets, whereby we can actually bring in members that want to sign up for 7K. We did have some open issues, and that was looking at the Mike Maloney videos and the online marketing on how to make the most of it. New business, we talked about goals and aspirations. Ray's goal is to move up a level in 7K every quarter. So you suggest setting tasks and activities to achieve said goals. We should work through our funnel. Also, a good idea is to reach out for a one-on-one with other downline members, and that is really important. We talked about in section B, a 3-tier approach, relationship marketing. We talked about online marketing and the 7K wealth system. Steve said he will have a plan for the next meeting that will help in dealing with the different type of potential recruits. He suggests looking for automated training provided by 7K. He will distinguish the key difference between relationship marketing and online marketing and selling silver for the next meeting. We will talk about that. We also talked about showing goals, mapping for online marketing success, how important to document our goals and to utilize what is made available for us. There were some inquiries and concerns. Ray needs a model interview that he can conduct in order to gain new recruits. So in other words, Ray, you needed an example of an interview so that it would help you in bringing in recruits. Dan's concerns is having all the proper information to answer practical real life questions being asked by his potential recruits. One, why to subscribe to Newsmatic coins? Will silver price fluctuate, change the 7K autosaver coin price? Will it change price or type of coin? Looking for collective answers on bullion versus Newsmatic coins. Steve will provide a copy of his pamphlet for Michelle to review and take notes on. It includes key selling points. Ray says it should incentivize people to sign up sooner, knowing the price of silver will go up, and the fact that 7K had the only silver for a sale a couple years ago due to their substantial reserve, and that is very true. 7K has also acquired 5 other gold and silver mines, which they're going to use as obviously to continue with their business. So there were some tasks. Michelle's will create a template for the next meeting, review of Mike Maloney videos to discuss at next meeting. Steve will have a plan for dealing with different types of people. Steve will get answers to Dan's questions from 7K. Steve will provide pamphlet and Michelle will review, take notes. So what we can do is what I'd like to do is just address what Dan asked about what would 7K do in regards to if the price increased. So I did reach out to them. Give me a moment here. I put the information here, I think, for a second. Let's see. Okay, so this was the response to what 7K asked. As a matter of fact, I'll read actually what I actually asked them. I said, a question I was asked a question of me during our weekly meeting for one of our associates. The question was, does 7K have a policy or of rate changes of their numismatic coins if precious metal pricing would go up significantly? If so, where would that policy be and how will the increase be determined? This was asked of me because some are saying that this is the main question that is presented to them as they are trying to sign people up. I think that this question is posed because many of the prospects are wanting to get a membership mainly to acquire gold and silver. Please advise. The answer that they gave me, hi, Stephen, we work very hard to offer the best prices on the items we offer through 7K Metals. Of course, if the price of precious metal goes up dramatically, we will have to review our pricing and make changes that will allow us to stay in business. So that was their response. Any questions?
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory.
So I think what, and it's just like anybody else. If you're selling an item and your supply increases the pricing, you're going to increase your price too. It's just that simple. Now, as it relates to gold and silver, and I understand where Dan is going, it's almost like Bitcoin. When Bitcoin started out, people were buying it. People are still trying to buy because they think it's going to go higher, higher, higher. And it has been going higher now. That's just the nature of the market of that particular example. So gold and silver will be the same way. And it would be probably common to people to think that even with the numismatic coins, because it does have gold and silver, that if the precious metal increases, then that would have to increase somewhat too. Now, to what degree is based on what any company does internally with whatever increase they get.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Self-evident, it seems, but they missed the point of the question because we asked if they had a policy. That's very, very ambiguous just to say, well, of course, if the price goes up, we'll have to review our costs and adjust our price accordingly. But they didn't specify any policy. Will they give us 30, 60, 90 days advance notice? We sign up for the monthly auto ship. So are they going to surprise us? What's their policy for notifying members as to when the price will be effective? How much of an increase would it need to be? Because a lot of the cost, for $100 or $150, a lot of the cost is the premium, the grading price, the shipping price and things. So those may increase, supply chain issues, or they may not increase as much as the silver or gold metal price increases. So they have a policy of no policy other than just saying, well, if the price goes up, we'll have to adjust it. So that's okay. We'll just explain it that way, but kind of policy of no policy.
And as you know, I did ask for your policy. What was your policy?
Yeah.
And
but
evidently they don't have a policy for that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So we recognize that, if it goes up to $50 an ounce for silver, or to $2,500 or $5,000 an ounce for gold, then obviously they'll adjust the price.
Yeah.
Steve, how long?
Go ahead, Kevin.
I'm sorry, Rick. Steve, how long have you been with 7K now?
Almost a year.
Almost 1 year?
Yeah.
Did you say? Oh,
Yeah. I'm sorry. Almost a year. I should have spoke up louder.
okay.
What I will say about this, though, they've always tried to have the best price in the market. So obviously, if their competitor is going up, they're going to go up, but they're trying to have the best competitive pricing in the market. So, when precious metal goes up, the whole market goes up. I understand what Dan is saying, and I get what he's saying because they want a definitive answer. What will happen with the numismatic coin? I get that, but they're just saying it's based on what the market does.
A lot of companies are selling coins at more as bullion, or they have their own collectability, but they don't necessarily have the monthly auto save program, they don't have the same features. So we're signing up for the monthly shipments. Those of us that do.
Yeah, so that is not a contractual commitment.
Oh, of course, I know that.
Yeah,
But if we did, are they gonna, what kind of notice are they gonna give us if our budget changes? I
yeah,
mean, it's simple things like that. That's fine. They don't have a policy.
yeah.
so
They,
we'll just-
they yeah they,
that way.
they don't really have a policy with that. No. And
That's all we did is wanna
I'll
ask-
keep mentioning it too. I'm gonna go to them if COVID allows us. I'll probably go to the meeting in Las Vegas, and I think it's in May. And I'll be posing that question, and I'll be posing the reason why. So whether it does anything or not,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I will.
One of the,
I'm
one of the
not
things
just
I-
letting it fall on the wayside, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it's not
They
super
do.
critical. It's just a question, and we tried to get an answer, and they gave us what they have.
Yeah.
Dan, that's a good question, because there's people like, for instance, like my niece who's really on a tight budget, right? So any $20 increase could be a big thing for her. But at the same time, I think who we're really looking to appeal to are people that realize they're getting in early. And if they realize they're getting in early, I'm going to tell them those prices, they are going to go up. So, and we can't miss the elephant in the room. We're getting into these numismatic and bullion and everything because we know that they're going to go up. Otherwise, we've been just banking the wrong way, right? If we look 5 years from now, and silver is the same price, the numismatic coins are the same price, everything else, we really banked it wrong. We bet wrong. So we really need to be saying almost like, not necessarily like a pyramid, but you are in early, and people that come into anything late, doesn't matter whether it's a stock, bond, mutual fund, or anything else, they're the ones that end up losing before if the market takes a downturn, right? We're early on in this game. So I think what we need to do is focus on the fact that, yeah, they are going to go up. You follow what I'm saying? I wouldn't fear it going up, because that means everything that we've invested in has appreciated highly in value too.
But we
We're
want
early
it
on.
to go up. That's our objective. That's our hope, is that it does
Right.
go up.
That's right.
But we're just asking if they had a policy, if, how they're going, what their plan is to address that issue if and when it does go up. What kind of notice will they give? Do they have any plans to share, which they don't. So that's fine. We can just explain it that way.
My guess is something will probably even be more clear and less vague as the metals have more volatility. That's because I'm sure because a lot more people are going to ask that question later.
Okay, we're done with that question.
What'd you say, Dan?
I think we're done with that question. We don't want to belabor it.
Yeah. So moving on, let me see if this, okay. So we created this brochure, and Ray has helped significantly in actually how we would get it produced and stuff like that. So this was a brochure that was designed to talk about 7K and answer many of the questions with just a trifold type brochure effect, with a maybe just handing it to the person and letting them see the information that's available, what 7K is offering, membership process, even when some of the things we may be offering as team members or group leaders and stuff like that. So what it does is it talks about, it starts out with been to Costco or Sam's lately, and what that is suggesting is that we know Costco's has a membership model, Sam's Club has a membership model, 7K has a membership model. Costco's and Sam's Club in their membership model, they have benefits, and 7K does the same thing. So you pay yearly for Sam's Club and Costco's, and you pay yearly for 7K. In the brochure on our members enjoy these benefits, it talks about the various benefits as you know them to be, as you look on 7K's information, maybe their booklet, whatever the case may be. And it enumerates those benefits. Instance, access to gold and silver dealer direct pricing, no minimums or maximum, meaning no minimums in amount you can buy and no maximums in amount you can buy. Personal offsite storage vault, and that is for certain types of packages that you purchase. Best buyback program, coin of the month program, rare Newsmatic MS70 coins, buyer certification program, a free buy sell coin platform, which is the Stack and Sell platform. They talk about their membership, over 800,000 retail discounts, healthcare program, personal retail sales website, and earn 507,000 per week. We can go higher than that, but that just seems to be the right number to put that really captures the audience. Loyalty program, Gold Back IRA, 1099 tax advantages. So this really just kind of talks about the benefits inside of a brochure. We use some Newsmatic coins and some images to kind of attract people to it. One of the things we mentioned, what are your thoughts on gold and silver? Building wealth one coin at a time. So that was kind of the theme of this particular brochure. Now, this part of the brochure is actually the back of the brochure. And this is where you can actually, anyone that gets this brochure, I mean, we send it to everyone. Anybody can actually access it. You can access it from the invitation that I send you. There's some links in that invitation where it would actually allow you to get to this brochure. And when you download it, that's when you're able to edit it. It will not down. If you click on the brochure and you view it, you will not be able to edit it. When you download it onto your server, then you will be able to edit it. And you can put your team name, or you can take this information out. You can put in your name, phone, email, website, whatever the case may be. So it is an editable program. And then what you can do is, once you edit it with the information that you like, maybe your team, you pass it on to your team, you can either print them at home or you can take them to the print shop. We actually take them to the printery. Yes.
We're not seeing the brochure on here. Still showing the agenda.
I thought you saw the, I'm sorry. You're not seeing the brochure? Is everybody not seeing the brochure?
Correct.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me, I didn't know that. Let me, are you seeing it now?
Yep.
I apologize. I am so sorry. So again, this is where the members' benefits are. I did enumerate those. I talked about the buy to Costco or Sam's Club. Have you been to Costco's or Sam's Club lately? Just talking about that membership, comparing a membership model to 7K's membership model. We have some images here, Newsmatic coin images. This is our logo for our team elite training. This doesn't have to be on there. If someone wanted to do something different, they could, but this is our logo that we have. This is the theme of the brochure. What are your thoughts on gold and silver and building wealth one coin at a time? What I was trying to enumerate, this is where you can edit the brochure to fit your needs, to fit your team. You can put your information, your name, phone numbers, email address, website address, whatever you choose. This is the only area that you can edit the brochure. So this is kind of the back of it, as it were. Keep in mind that it is a trifold. So there's a double side printing. This is the back and this is the front. And this has some basic information about what we do as a team, what we offer as a team, just some things that were mentioned in our booklet about gold and silver, doing some comparison about in 1965, you could have bought a brand new Ford Mustang for $2,500 or 25 ounces of silver. But today you simply can't do it. I mean, you could barely buy the tires on a Ford Mustang for $2,500. So those type of comparisons. One particular noted statement from JP Morgan, gold and silver are money, everything else is credit. We thought that was a real nice thing to put, because that is true. And I mean, gold and silver is real money. And so that's what we're dealing in.
We go up a little bit.
Say it again?
Can we go up a little bit? That buy sell platform, just go up. Best buyback program and a free coin platform. Can you elaborate on those?
So the Stack and Sell platform is the platform that they're referring to, whereby you can actually place your own coins on that platform so that you can inventory them and you actually have a record of what you have price wise, but you can also sell on that platform like it was an eBay or anything else. The difference is that the platform allows you to actually, they actually are a connector between the buyer and the seller. So you're not risking the loss of your funds, and the person is not risking the loss of the coin without getting the funds.
But the
Is
stack
that-
and sale is not a buyback program. That's a sale marketplace program. The buyback program is in the Sound Money wallet, where you can move from gold to silver to cash back and forth or into your bank account or transfer to other members. But that's the buyback program, I think, right there.
Yeah, I understand that, but he asked about the Stack and Sell. Is that what you asked about, Kevin?
Well, I want to know, out of all the gold places out there, how many of them have these programs?
Have what?
The Sound Money wallet.
Only 7K has a Sound Money wallet.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
Okay.
When you want to know, when you're building value, I'm talking to my consumer or my potential agent or recruit or even potential buyer, we got to sell the value. What does 7K have that nobody else has? 80% of the sale is in building value. It's not the close, it's in building value. Why should I do business with 7K? Why should I pay this membership fee? Because we have something that nobody else has. We have the Sound Money wallet. We have this, we have that. When you start focusing on those things, those other questions become very minimal. You got to focus on what we have, what sets us apart from our competitors. And that should be where the bulk of our conversations, the meat of our conversations should be. Focus on what sets us apart from our competitors. Not,
I
And
agree
one
with you,
other
Kevin.
thing, go ahead, Ray.
I was to say, I agree with you, Kevin. The differentiators, they need to know what's on that list that nobody else has, because they're going to say, why can't I go somewhere else, to buy it? And so the buyback program is great, but the Stack and Sell is really I think liquidity is very important for people. So they want to know if they buy something that they're not stuck with it, or when they want to get rid of it, or if they're in a jam or anything. So I think the buyback program is cool because they can get their bullion back to it, based on company's going to keep a small piece, when you sell it back, because they can't just keep going back and forth. But then you have the Stack and Sell, which is unique because everybody's worried about, do I have to go meet somebody at the gas station and sell my gold to somebody that might mug me or something? Or can I just do this non-invasively, where they don't have my information? They don't need to know anything about me. It's anonymous. So I'm just sending it to the middleman. NGC they have grading in the middle there. They grade the coins and make sure it's authentic. And then PayPal pays, I send the coin to them. Once they grade it and everything else, then that person's money comes to me through PayPal, right? Tell me, is that correct, Steve?
That money will come to you, whichever arrangement you make. As far as you're talking about, as far as what you're getting back from the free buy and sell program.
Stack
When
and
you
Sell.
sell a coin, when you sell the free buy sell coin platform, which is what
No. I'm talking about Stack and Sell. Stack and Sell.
Yeah, well, that's what that's relating to. So Stack and Sell, when you sell a coin, whatever arrangement you set up to be paid is how you'll be paid. So if it's PayPal, if it's whatever, that's how you'll be paid.
It's not free. It's not free anymore, though, as far as
Oh,
I
it isn't?
see, though.
Okay.
No.
What is, because I don't have a membership. I never was asked to pay a membership fee.
Well, no, it's not a membership fee. I thought that was there's a percentage on the sale.
Okay. 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 So so what I'm relating to, yeah, and I haven't sold any coins on Stack and Sale to know what the percentage is or anything like that. But as far as there's not a charge for that I know of for any advertising or anything like that, or for inventory your own coins that I know of. Because one of the problems that many members had is that they had so many coins that they were actually losing them. They had no way of knowing what they had. I mean, they just, those that have been in 7K since its inception have coins that'll probably fill many of our rooms in our homes. And so they had no way of really determining, or no professional way of determining what they had, any numbers to it, or what the value was, other than what they would see on eBay. And that was a problem. So that process is free as well. And that, I'm sure that will go a long way to determining or being an asset. That's a collateral. I mean, that's an asset. And you can use that asset if you were trying to purchase something or you wanted to use it as collateral. You can very well do that, and you can actually be able to actually determine what that value of that asset is through the Stack and Sale program.
So Dan, it's a way of being able to have your cost basis all in one place. So for the people that want that, you're able to have it all on there. Your coin, all the details of your coins are on there in terms of what you purchased it for, everything else. So in terms of what the cost was, everything. So which is good and bad. I mean, obviously it's a tracking system also for IRS when you sell something, because there is the gains on that coin, or losses.
If you just have American Eagles, there's no tax consequences, so you don't need to track those for tax basis purposes.
Right. But one thing I'm going to mention to you, and I've mentioned this to a few people, and because they've asked me this question, they'll say, well, why do you buy numismatic coins over bullion? And like I had Barb at our office. Okay. She started freaking out because this coin guy this guy that has a jewelry shop said, nah, you're getting ripped off. You shouldn't do numismatic coins, blah, 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 all this stuff. So she started freaking out because of this guy, and her husband was getting on her and everything else. And so I said to her, I go, well, let's look at from the time when you bought these coins or whatnot. Did you see what silver price did? Okay. Well, silver went down during that time period that she was talking about, the couple month period. And I said, but look at these numismatic coins. The value of these coins have gone up. I go, these are more like silver on steroids. I mean, if you see something that I'll say I bought it for $319 and it's now worth $500, how did there's no silver bullion that did that in the past year. It's humanly impossible that you could have bought a regular silver without being numismatic or something like that, where you had that kind of appreciation, 50% plus appreciation, right? So that's why I tell people my strategy is, and I'm totally honest, I don't have kids that I'm going to be passing this on, except for Michelle's nephew we can pass on to. But the bottom line is we have to make sure that we have survival insurance first. So my goal is as this appreciation is sort of like silver on steroids, I would use, is what I would call it. Silver on steroids. I said, as it starts appreciating, I'm going to start selling and converting it. I use the word converting it into bullion. Because at the end of the day, bullion is going to be the most cost-effective currency that you can have if things got really bad, right? If they got to a point where the dollar totally took a dive. So that's my strategy.
I get those questions a lot too. A lot of challenges. Why buy all these expensive collectible coins? But several answers I've been coming up with as I've learned more about it. One is that 7K has the video and they talk about offense and defense. The bullion is the defense, collectibles is
right.
the offense. For, like you just said, Ray, the appreciation faster and going forward. Another thing is I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube and other stack backers and buyers and sellers, and they talk about what do they call it, the constitutional silver, the actual coins, the 90% silver coins and so forth. They'll have bags and boxes full of these coins, and then they weigh them out. And because of the wear and tear, so to speak, on the coins, it's actually rubbed silver off. So there's actually less silver in those coins than if they were brand new. But also the challenge is, especially if it's not constitutional silver, like coins, money coins, so to speak, there's the validation aspect because as I've watched the videos, they actually invest in scales to weigh the coins. And they say they have to weigh and check every single coin that you have to make sure it's legitimate, pure silver or gold and so forth. So there's a whole validation issue with just plain coins. Even if you're just getting raw silver coins, if you're collecting it for the quantity of silver, then you have less than a 1 ounce coin, let's say, or you have less than whatever it is, a quarter or something like that. So, and then I see them, they're either in bags, so they're scratched and worn and so forth, or they actually put them in cases. So now they're protecting them. They're buying the cases, they're buying the boxes, they're buying the scales. They're spending all their money or lots of money on these other kinds of things in addition to just the raw silver. So they're comparing apples and oranges. And when we have these encased in the MS70 and PF70 rated, graded, proofed, part of the cost of the purchase is for that service to validate the quality that we have. And it's not just wear and tear, because if you don't do that, then whoever you sell it to, you got to have a scale and validate them one by one. If you have 1,000 or 10,000 silver coins of some sort or other, now you got to validate and track every single one of those.
Good point.
Yeah. I personally, I was never a collector of any coins before I started. And so my thought process is collecting for the possibility of what may happen and the possibility of gaining an advantage by having a collectible coin. So I do buy bullions. I try to buy, I'm trying to buy all type of incremental amounts, because if something happens with the US currency, then one, we know the value of our gold and silver will go up, but we may need those bullions in those increments. You may not be able to sell or you may not be wanting to, you can't do with the numismatic coin what you can do with a bullion. And I can exchange a bullion for just purchase reasons versus a numismatic coin, because one is value and it wouldn't make sense. So I've been trying to purchase in those ranges because I do think that could happen. And even if it didn't happen, I still will have the value of my gold and silver, no matter what increment I get it in.
Another consideration, if you look back in history, in the time of the Depression and time of bad economics, we still had Rockefellers and Vanderbilts and Carnegies. If something happens in our economy and our whole economy crashes, now you're going to have a big divergence. You're going to have all the people that are suffering, but you will always have the bankers and the wealthy people that will have money, and they still bought and buy collectible things, art and comic books and baseball cards. There's still wealthy people that will be buying collectible things. So I think there will continue to be a market for collectability issues down the road, even if we have a crash in the economy.
I agree with you. And, one of the things you brought up, and I talk about this, how I talk to everybody about building their financial ark, building their ark. And the whole goal is to make sure that when if that water comes and we have that storm and that flood and all of a sudden that water starts, you never want that water to go above your nose, right? Because you're done. And so our whole thing is let's build your arc, right? And you guys can use this if you want, but build that arc and let's get everything. It's like, it's insure. We insure everything. We insure our home, we insure our health, we insure our life. But why are we not insuring our currency, our purchasing power, right? The whole goal is to get people to focus on at least that as part of one of the main categories, because that's the one that's the most devastating. But there's two different kind of people. So we need to focus. There's two different kind. Buyers, and Curtis always uses this. By the way, I talked to Curtis and he wants to jump on one of our calls. He's the one with 14,000 members. So there's buyers and builders. And so Dan, what you don't want to do is get caught up in thinking everybody needs to be a builder, because not everybody's got that mindset. We just want to get them in and just put their toe in the water, first of all, right?
Yeah.
So remember, first of all, they have to be in a belief that what we're doing is a really great thing and it's futuristic and everything else, because if they're not going to get it, it's like Costco. You're not going to go refer other people to Costco if you're a Sam's Club member. That'd be sort of dumb, right? You're going to refer them to Sam's Club. So the whole thing is I think what we need to do is focus on just getting people in any way, shape, or form. But sometimes people, like Curtis has coached me pretty good with this. He says, but nobody renews when they renew, nobody is renewed under the 199 program. Why? Because they realize in 1 year, either you've dropped out, but if you're still in 1 year, they realize that, hey, why would I not want to get compensated on this thing? So you don't have too many people. So you let them know ahead of time, you can go either way, but nobody renews the other way because they've seen so many people on their downlines, right? You know what I'm saying?
And that's one of the comments that I wanted to make about this brochure, because this mixes those two concepts, the buyers and the builders. We talk about enjoy member benefits on the back panel, like they're showing there. Then inside it says, when you join our team, all those things about building. So I would like to see maybe two separate brochures if we have to, but at least one that focuses, Ray, on what you just said. Why do you want to just buy and own and become a member? What are the benefits to you as a member, whether or not you build down the road? So that's just one thought and suggestion.
So let me make sure I understand. You want the brochure, you want this part out of the brochure on one of the brochures?
If we make a brochure that we describe or define as a buyer brochure, like Ray just described, why should I pay for a membership fee and buy gold and silver for defense and offensive purposes, the 5 reasons to invest and so forth, without regard to building your business? Why should I be a member? Why should I buy silver and gold? Why should I do it from 7K? That's the brochure that we want, not joining a team and having training sessions and building out and so on and so forth.
I'll work on that. It doesn't
have to be a trifold. It can be just a bifold, or it can be a flat card, front and back side. Something very simple. Why should I buy that we can pass out?
I think that's a good idea, Dan. I think we don't even need I agree also that we don't need a trifold for that one.
Okay.
Well, remember, you guys created the trifold just before the NAFA meeting, so this was geared towards that.
Yeah. Well, we're not saying we're getting rid of the trifold. We're just going to make a different brochure.
Yeah.
Is basically what Dan is saying. So we'll yeah. Let me give it some thought how to do it. What we want to do. I can put together some samples of what we'll do, and you all can look at it and let me know.
Ray, Kevin, I'm thinking with reference to, say, the board meeting for the share group, when we talk to those people that are very simplistic minded, shall we say, what we want to emphasize is why they should just simply become a member and support the group, and the organization can get some money, but for them, it's not a matter of trying to convince them to be builders necessarily, just buy and support the group.
Okay. All right. We got to move on. But hopefully that you've seen the brochure and you gave me some suggestions on that. I will work on that. And I'm also going to work on making sure that you all are getting the email properly. I'm going to take Dan's suggestion and do it a day earlier, maybe even 2 days early. And I'm going to check with everyone, see if they got it, to see what's going on. Ray has mentioned it several times, but I just want to make sure it's not going in some other inbox of Ray's in his and anyone else's. So having said that, let me see here.
On the 7K vault program, they have a limit, what is it, $25,000, something like that? For the
I think
vault?
the value is up to 25,000.
Yeah, but is there any time limit other than the value limit? Is there any time, can we leave the $20,000 value in there indefinitely? Or
No, there's no time limit, but the 25,000, the only thing you need to know in regards to that number is, as far as I know, is that's the free amount. So, it's not the end of the world. Okay, you got 50,000, but on that extra 25, you might have a fee. You know what I'm saying? It's not an arm and a leg as far as I've seen, especially if you're putting significant amount in. I don't think it's going to be too bad.
But I'm just looking up another company, a competitor that says up to 10 years of free storage. So if we can emphasize there's no time limit for the free storage part there, that's another distinction.
I've never heard of a time limit. Yeah, so that would be another advantage.
Who sets the value on those vaults? Like what, because the price fluctuates in coins. Does that go, or is the value set when the coins are placed in the vault, or is that something that fluctuates, is what I'm trying to get at? Like say for instance, you left your 9/11 coin in there, right? When you got it, it was $150, let's say, and now it's worth 1,000. Does that go?
No, they don't put the special coins in there. That's just Silver Eagle. And
Okay.
and the Sound Money wallet is the value. So you can always look at your Sound Money wallet and see what your value of silver and gold is.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Guys, I have to jump off. I'll jump back on.
Okay.
All
right. So, the Mike Maloney videos, did anybody look at those? I mean, I had looked at some. I think we might need a little bit longer time to review that portion because there's quite a few videos.
Well, just take as much time as you want or need. It's up to you for your own, our own education, if you will, to learn about the money supply and the money system and banking system and so forth. So that's just background information to help us understand the economy and banking systems.
Okay, it was reviewed. It said review them. So okay, so that's a mute point.
Yes.
Shell will create a template.
It helped Walter, he said, but.
Yeah, just so you know, I looked at as many Mike Maloney videos as I could. Even 7K has them, but even in the training that you have from 4%, it has Mike Maloney videos in it too.
The same one.
So there, Mike Maloney is, he's the man as far as I'm concerned. So all right. So Michelle, it said you'll create a template for the next meeting.
Yeah, I have some put together. I'm not really happy with them, so I have to. Yeah, I'm still working on that.
So what we did is we're recording this meeting here, and I'll send that recording to you.
Can you send me last week's also?
Unfortunately, I didn't record it last week.
Oh, I thought it was recorded. Okay. No, that's okay.
I didn't record that meeting because I came in the way I came in. It was just I didn't record it. So, but your meetings will be recorded because you have to have them recorded. And so I recorded this one, of course. So you'll have that. I do apologize for that. You did make the minutes for last week, so we're pretty much covered that. Was there? We did have some other points. Let me see here.
Yeah, so we didn't really clearly define exactly what we're gonna cover as far as, the next week. I mean, we did say like a couple of things like you would cover X, Y, and Z, but we didn't have any like real, other than going over the 3-tier relationship buying, and then the online buying, and then the 7K wealth strategies and stuff like that. So other than that, though, I didn't really,
What
I
I'm
don't know
gonna
if
do,
that's something that-
what I'm gonna try to do is look at what we covered today and look at what's on this here, set up an agenda. I'll give that information to you, Michelle. So you can
Okay.
put something together along with whatever minutes, and then we'll have an agenda. Because there are a few
Okay.
things we need to touch on here. And then that's how we'll do it, because the meeting kind of got away, but the issue is sizing the meeting, keeping the meeting concise too. We had 9:39 my time. So that's something I have to work on too, is just everybody's busy, and I definitely don't want to be running over like this. So we did talk about a couple of things. We talked about some of the things that Dan had regarding 7K. Dan, you had some great questions and some great observations. And you're right. And Ray, definitely some great focal points that we need to do as we bring members in. I can't say every single question is going to be answered to everybody's satisfaction, but I will try my best to do whatever I can. In regards to the brochure, I will work on directing that. And Michelle, if you can directly pinpoint what Dan asked about the brochure, you'll hear that in the meeting, so that I want to be able to have a direct focus on giving the information that he wants inside of a brochure. And really, we all want it. It's for all of us, but
as far
he
as
really came up
buyers
with
versus
he really came up with the idea real well. So it's going to help us all, but I want to make sure I'm on target with it. That's my biggest thing.
Well,
Hey guys, I got two quick things because I got to get off the line here. Number one, if anybody wants the full brochure, the one that's already made, I think it's 56 cents per brochure. I pay $56, and my printer, he's really good. Obviously, there's a lot of color on there and a lot of stuff. And I've been using Kevin Dominic. He's been part of our association, our church association. So if you want that particular one for, especially the person that wants to build a business, right? That's number one. Number two, Curtis has volunteered to come in on our call. Steve, I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but I think he's available next Monday. Are you guys all going to be on? I think it would be huge. He's got 14,000 members. You can ask any question you want, Dan.
So that may be where the agenda goes. What I'll do is tomorrow I'll give Curtis a call and see where he's at and get it all set up.
Good. And then
Thank you, Ray. Thank you.
is he our upline? Are we at his team?
Yes. Yeah, he's our upline. He's way upline.
he flushed like 10,000 points or something really big. He's got so many people on one side that he has to, his whole agenda and his whole future is to help our line because he's wasting so many points on the other side.
Yeah.
He's got three executive gold members or something, like guys that are making like 10 grand a week on his, three of them, 3 or 4 actually. So he's really got it down. And then the last thing I was going to bring up before I got to go here is I'm on a board meeting. I'm on a board actually for Dynamis, for the non-for-profit. So Dan, you gave me a lot of really great ideas. I like to talk to you about some ideas maybe a little later today, because you have a great spiel towards not-for-profits, and I'm going to introduce it to them tonight, not necessarily formally, but more informally.
Yeah, okay.
So,
And before you leave, Ray, I got one comment. I took the liberty and asked forgiveness rather than permission to sign us up as a team for the Gold Rush contest for 7K.
yeah, I thought that was great, Dan.
I sent the email out a week or so ago mentioning that. It showed the form. I didn't hear any response, so that's why I was asking everybody.
I sent you my username.
Yes, I got yours and Michelle's and Kevin's and Ray's. So I signed up the 5 of us as a team.
nice.
Can you
So-
change that username? Are you able to change that?
For the contest,
Okay, so I have two memberships.
yeah.
It really don't make any difference, but I think I gave you one I didn't want to give you, but if it's there, it's fine. It'll work either way. It'll work either way. I thought I
It
was
won't
giving,
matter if we don't win anything.
I thought I was giving you something. Well,
The
that's fine.
point is to get signed up as a team, give us some motivation to set some goals, work together, help us out. I know everybody, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole and you guys have to get your right and left team out, but we've got to build everybody up to help you all upline as well there. So if we can work on that, and 7K has their call tonight at 9 o'clock, I think, something. So whatever the contest is, so we can learn, and that should be the agenda at least maybe for next week, if not sooner, to go over that contest, the 7K Gold Rush 2022 contest, find out what we need to do, and obviously just grow our teams in general. But
So Curtis has been going all around the country with 7K. We can talk about that and he will know more information than all of us. So we'll make sure he addresses that.
And if we're on his weak leg, then maybe he'll help us with some overflow members or something. So just wanted to mention that real quick, Ray, before you have to get off. And it's I have to leave at 1:45 myself. So let's wrap things up here, I guess.
Okay, I'm fine with everything. We know what we talked about. Michelle, if you can get those minutes out, I appreciate it. I'll send
Yeah,
you
for sure.
the link for this. Ray, I will definitely, Ray and Dan, I'll definitely look into that email situation. I apologize for that. And Dan, you came up with some great ideas. I really appreciate your input. I really, really do. So I will work towards what you're talking about because that will definitely help us. And that's all I have right now.
One thing before we go, yeah, Dan, thank you for taking the lead on that because this is a great leadership group we got. Now the thing is I was going to ask and get your input from everybody about maybe Michelle, if you can help our number tracking for this contest so that you're able to say, okay, so we know where we're at. Would you be able to help us with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number tracking.
Because
Is that something like the 7K website? You know, how do I, where do I go?
In your downline, but I don't know if you have access to everybody's downline. I think Steve and Ray.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I probably don't have access to my upline, you know?
maybe an easy way is if each one of us, as we bring people in, anybody that brings anybody in on the team lets her know, because it's going to be based on new members, right?
Yeah. Okay. That'll be helpful.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Very good. Good meeting.
All right.
Talk.
Thank you. Enjoyed everybody. All right.
We'll talk to you later, Ray.
See you guys. Yeah, I'll call you this afternoon.
Okay.